What's up everybody, it's July 14th, 2016 and it's time for today's episode of Level Up, our daily video game news show where we bring you all the latest and greatest stories from within the video game industry. And today we are kicking off on a pretty sour note. Yes, it's been revealed that the US government has proposed a settlement with Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment over claims of a deceptive marketing campaign. Now this dates back all the way to 2014, revolving around Warner Brothers' Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, and the case claims that they were paying YouTube personalities in order to give the game favourable reviews, favourable coverage. This is something that we've heard before in the past, and there's always this murmuring of, are reviews paid for, are they good? And we always like to think that it doesn't happen in the industry, but with these new personalities coming on, it does seem to be the case now that more and more people are paying for this content. And the biggest name in this was PewDiePie, or his video attracted nearly 4 million views from it, and he has responded to this and claimed he did nothing wrong, but really what he did not cover the FTC guidelines. His disclosure was buried deep in the description, and it has to be very clear, or the FTC is very clear that any sponsored content is allowed. There's nothing wrong with sponsored content, but you have to make it absolutely clear that you are being paid by whoever to do this. And the thing that makes this really funny is that Shadow of Mordor was a really good game. It won Game of the Year and everything, so I don't quite know why they had to pay for good content or for positive reviews. You can maybe understand it on a game that's maybe lukewarm, but they must have known that they had a good game on their hands. But yeah, anyway, this is something that at least they have been clamped down on, and hopefully the people who took the bribes and didn't disclose it, like PewDiePie, will also be brought to justice over it, because it's just not fair to mislead gamers. There are so many games out there right now that we deserve to know, and a personality has an obligation to be true to his audience, to tell them if a game's good, if a game's bad. As it turned out, like I said, Mordor was a very good game, but that's not really the point here. But it's good to see that the justice system is working. Moving on now, and not necessarily actually some happier news, but we're moving on to the Xbox, and Microsoft have confirmed that there's actually going to be no Xbox briefing at Gamescom this year. So just yesterday when I was talking about will they maybe reveal Sea of Thieves release date at Gamescom, no, it appears that there's going to be no press conference briefing by the company this year. They're going to be focusing on a new and more intimate Xbox Fan Fest for their fans. So they will still have a presence, it's just not going to be a big conference, so maybe imagine it to be a little bit more like the EA Play where they did this thing for their fans. This is obviously a big thing that companies are now moving towards. They're relying on their communities to kind of feed back to people about their games. Does this maybe also open the door for the fact that Microsoft could have their own conference? We've seen that Sony have now got PSX, so it's possible that we could actually see Microsoft hold their own, because what else have we got? We've got Paris Games Week maybe? That's the only other really big one. Other than that, I feel they definitely need to have something. We didn't see Crackdown this year, so there was definitely some things that they still need to show off to the audience, so I don't know. We shall see. We'll be sure to tell you as soon as we hear more. Talking of Xbox, staying with it, and we know the Xbox One S is coming out at the start of next month, and it appears that maybe there may be some limited edition versions of the console bundles coming out in the near future. Not been confirmed, but has been leaked on Twitter, is this very, very sexy looking Xbox One S Gears of War 4 special edition with the dark red and the traditional Gears logo on it. Looks really, really cool. This has come from a Twitter user by the name of XimGaff. Apparently he is known to be an Xbox insider. It's probably, I'd be very surprised if this wasn't real. It's not unusual for them to do it. They've done the Forza, they did the Forza console last year amongst others, so expect to see this announced at some point. Like I said, not official yet, but pretty confident that this is going to be a real thing. Looks really cool, but then again, so does that original white. The Xbox One S is definitely looking like a very sexy console. Moving on, and we have some Destiny news for the fans out there. We know that Rise of Iron is coming in September, but ahead of its release we have been given a little tease about some new armour that will be coming to the game. So this particular armour will be for the individuals that complete the Trials of Osiris. This will be the hunter gear, and you can see it here. does look very, very cool. There's one thing that Destiny knows how to do well, they know how to do a lot of things well, but the cosmetic additions to your characters are really cool, and this looks really good, and I'm sure people will want to work hard in order to kind of get this armor gear because it does look very good. They have also added that the hunter class is being nerfed a little bit in order to make sure the balance on Crucible is better. There has been people that they've noticed that the hunter is kind of been the more favourable class if someone wants to be successful in the Crucible, so they're just trying to balance those classes out to try and make them more even, which is good. We always want to see that in games. We don't want one particular category to be more powerful than the others. And then, moving on, the final news item of the day, Final Fantasy 15. Again, another game that is coming in September. We finally now have the official box art for the game. We can see it here with the main cast on the front there. It's a pretty cool photo, it would be said. But in addition to that, it's going to be reversible as well, and we will see a very plain kind of minimalist black Final Fantasy, which is fine, but I thought it was really weird because Final Fantasy has always been associated with white in my mind. So for them to move to a plain black is kind of weird. I don't know if people still care about box art. I mean, obviously, as we move towards a digital era, box art does become less and less relevant, but I personally am still a fan of it. It still looks cool. Doesn't affect whether or not I'm going to buy a game or not, but it's just a nice little thing to see. I'm sure bigger fans of Final Fantasy will have stronger opinions than me, but there they are for you to check out and enjoy. Hopefully you like them. If not, I'm sure you could probably get the Japanese one, which looks slightly different. You can see that there as well. So that's it for today's news. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Do let us know in the comments down below what do you think of this whole Warner Brothers, PewDiePie, etc. malarkey. Is it as shady as it sounds? I think it is. Let us know whether or not you're disappointed that Xbox not going to be at Gamescom. Where do you think they will give us all of their news? And whether or not you're going to be picking up the likes of Final Fantasy, the new Destiny expansion, and Gears 4. But for now, make sure you come back tomorrow for a brand new day of video game news. But for now, thanks for watching. I will see you all next time.